Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on the map you all know and love, Semoskiy Winter. Our heroes today are going to be Chukonoku, playing for the Germans, and his opponent is going to be VICTRIX Sayler, playing for the Germans. So once again, we have ourselves a mirror matchup. This is from the Sunday Night Fights Season 5 tournament. Round of 128, once again. And, I believe the third mirror matchup we've casted so far. Interestingly enough, we've only had mirror matches with Germans, not with Soviets, so... just a little bit of information there that I thought was interesting. So anyways, a little bit about the players. That's gonna be difficult to say. Chukonoku is the highest ranking player in this matchup. His German play is in the 100s. The 100 rank range, that is, and yeah, so that would be him. Seeding for this is 31 for Chukonoku and 98 for Sayler, so a little bit of a mismatch there. However, this is a mirror match, which means that we are going to be seeing a battle of wits, a battle of who has the better strategy here, because there are no counters. I mean, Pios on Pios, it really matters who gets to cover first, who controls them better, who wins the houses, things like that, you know. So, anyways, as far as the build orders goes, we see that... sorry, it's a little bit difficult to tell who's who. Sayler got himself his doctrine right off the bat, and that is the Jaeger Armor Doctrine, which to me means that he probably has some type of strategy in mind. We will see if that is actually the case. Chukonoku, for his part, has not gotten anything so far, and just built himself tier 1 like you would expect most German players to do, and got himself 3 Grenadier squad in a row. Sayler, for his part, got himself tier 1 as well, as you would expect, but got himself a Grenadier, an MG42, and then another Grenadier, so not mirror matches anymore. We have an MG in the field currently set up in the church, so a little bit of a defensive or passive MG, but it is going to be supporting a Grenadier squad that is currently being working on capturing the center. Grenadiers will move into the strategic point, start to capture, and they will see these guys. MG42 will set up in one of these windows. There it goes. We see it breaking it. Actually, it's in the window on top, it looks like. Yeah, here it is. And we'll start opening up on those grens, and there we go. So first engagement of the match, and the Grenadiers for Chukonoku are going to lose that fight because, well, Gren on Gren action really comes down to who gets into the better cover. And while, you know, Chukonoku actually has the better cover, he is being shot at by an MG42, currently suppressed and potentially pinned, although the Grenadiers for Sayler decide to disengage and are just simply going to move back, meaning the MG42 will actually lose sight range of these grens and they will stay on the field. I can't feel but think that that is a misplay there by Sayler. He should have pushed his advantage right on top of these grens, did some damage and forced them off of the field, and then moved along, but I guess he was focused on trying to get that fuel. Grens for Sayler now up to 3, or well, building a third one. And Chukonoku got himself his MG42 as well, and that being his 4th unit instead. So, again, we are back to the mirror matchup, but a little bit of a different build order. So MG42 in the church turns around, starts shooting the Grenadiers that captured this point and actually took the strategic point off from Sayler. Up north, we have Pio on Pios. Pios decide to just keep their distance. These guys jump into the house. These guys move back and capture territory. MG42 taking shots at these grens in the house, but it'll take a long time to dislodge. And we now have Grenadiers moving to the fuel point down south, while these other Grenadiers move back to support. Right-hand side, Grenadiers pulling back in the face of another Grenadier squad being supported by an MG42 by Chukonoku. MG42 will set up and turn this fight in the favor of Chukonoku's Grenadiers. There it goes, sets up, starts shooting, and there we go, bursts go down. Oh my god, actually goes down to 1 man on that Grenadier squad, hits retreat, but I think it's gonna be fairly easy for it to get out of there alive. It is a Grenadier. Grenadiers are much stronger than conscripts, and they should be able to make it out alive just fine. So, this other Grenadier for Chukonoku did get battered, it looks like, over here. We have a mortar on the field for... actually, no, that's Chukonoku. So, what hit here? Rifle nade? Yeah, I think it probably was a rifle nade. Anyways, we hear another rifle nade go down. It looks like it went down into this house. Yeah, we can see the impact of it. No, actually we can't. Where is it? Well, I'm pretty sure it went down here. But Chukonoku dodges that quite nicely, jumps out of the house, and then comes back in. MG42 being used for support, so Chukonoku being very offensive with his MG42. And I don't mean that he's swearing, I mean he's using it offensively, as in attacking with it, instead of what Sayler is doing, and just keeping it in the house. Don't take me wrong, that's not entirely bad, considering that this MG42 is holding the center of the map right now by its own for Chukonoku. But for Sayler, but Chukonoku has himself a mortar coming into the field, which will quickly dislodge that MG42 from that church. MG42 being used to capture the fuel on the southern side, taking a rifle nade to the face, down to 2 men, but with Grenadiers there for support, that Grenadier squad will have to retreat. MG42 for Sayler, he now has himself 3 MG42s, so very interesting strategy. Going 3 Grens, 3 MGs, so very heavy investment in Tier 1. Chukonoku, for his part, has invested also a little bit heavily in Tier 1, getting 3 Grens, an MG, and a mortar, but he himself has actually already teched up to Tier 2. Also going to get himself a bunker for triage, and is getting a scout car on the field. Scout car, okay choice. Obviously, there's always the danger of Fausts, something that you normally don't have to account for as a German, but it could be very useful, especially against the sheer amount of MG42s currently on the field for Sayler. MG42s will be very easily flankable by that scout car and taken down quite quickly. So that is an excellent choice in my opinion, for Chukonoku. Grants for Chukonoku getting pinned out in the open by that MG42, forced off of the field. The Grens 3 men down south over here capping territory. So for the most part, Chukonoku is actually dominating on the map control part, but he is actually losing in the victory point wise. Sayler right now controlling 2 of the victory points, bringing Chukonoku down to 380 points, 87 right now points, while still staying at 500 himself. It is only 7 minutes into the map right now, so it's not that big of a deal, but just, stating the facts. So the MG42 in the church did get dislodged. It decided to jump back and is putting itself on the house a little bit further back. But yeah, that mortar doing its job, getting 1 kill of the guys inside. Autocannon upgraded for the scout car for Chukonoku. Not exactly something that was needed just yet, but like I said again, it's not a horrible thing to do. Oh, look at that damage go down. Always keep in mind that Faust do more damage than 18-8s on the penetration. I believe it is 100 damage for the Faust as opposed to 80 damage for the 18-8. Make sure to correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I recall, that is what the changes were made to. And yeah, you saw the damage go down, a lot of damage on that scout car, so it has to get repaired, but it was supporting its Pioneer squad, which, well, can support it back with some quick repairs. Tier 2, since it's already up for Chukonoku, he's getting himself a Panzer Grenadier squad. The MG for Chukonoku died. Oh, okay. Dang it. Let me see. Actually, I can get that information. I was going to say that I think that what happened is that Sayler actually ended up decrewing Chukonoku's MG and taking it for himself. But I can actually check that if I take a quick look at the replay analyzer. Let's let the game proceed by itself. Build orders. Check over here. It is MG, and we are at the 9-minute mark. 1, 2, 3. Okay, no. So yeah, the MG for Chukonoku actually ended up dying at some point. I don't know where. I don't know if I can find it. Maybe he died in this house? Apparently it's not out on the field, so we can't really see it. So it might have died inside a house, but no, I just checked and Sayler did actually produce 3 MG42, so that's fine. Okay, so Sayler, also for his part, went straight for Tier 3. So skipping Tier 2 altogether, gonna get himself, I don't know, he doesn't have the fuel for anything right now. A Stug would be okay. Flak Panzer probably being the better option, considering the Tier 2 investment for Chukonoku. But, like we've seen before, Flak Panzers are very few and far between. Players are reluctant to actually get them. Scout car pushing into the center of the map, autocannon attacking the shed. One thing to keep in mind as a player that starts in the the left-hand side or the south. This shed right here is horrible for you to put units in because it doesn't have any way to fight in this direction. Panzer Grenadiers working on the Grenadiers themselves, getting fired on the MG42s, getting suppressed. Grenadiers down to one man, so fighting all over the place. And down goes one Grenadier squad for Sayler, it looks like. And the mortar for Chukonoku going to work, going to town and shooting and stuff. Anyways, what I was trying to say is that this shed is horrible for you to use because it doesn't have any windows on this side. It only has a door. So this angle is dead. Since it has the wall right there, this window can't be used most of the time. Right now it can be used because the mortar actually popped the wall. But usually this is only going to have these two angles. So it's kind of okay if you are, the northern player attacking this side. But, generally speaking, this is not a good angle for you. So anyways, engagement in the center went all over the place. I didn't really keep track of it because I was talking too much, which is probably my bad. And yeah, Sayler apparently wins that engagement and forces the units for Chukonoku off of the field. He did end up killing the scout car because, like I said, Panzerfaust are, well, incredible against scout cars. And Chukonoku got himself tier 3 and is now building himself a Panzer IV. Once again, would have liked to actually seen a Flak Panzer instead, but like I said, that is my position to be able to say that because I can actually view the map and know what, the other player has exactly. That is not a luxury that Chukonoku had in this game, so he goes for the safer route and gets himself a Panzer IV, which is fine because that Panzer IV is going to hit the field like a truck. There is nothing on the field right now for Sayler to counter it. He is getting the fuel up to be able to produce his own Panzer IV, so it's going to be a Panzer IV and Panzer IV battle. But when that Panzer IV for Chukonoku hits the field, it's going to have a little while, at least a minute, window time to do some good damage. Files over here retreating, Grens, mortars pulling back onto the field, Grenadiers for Chukonoku retreating in the face of Sayler's Grenadiers, and unit-wise, Chukonoku seems to be in a better position. Sayler has lost a little bit. He is replacing a Grenadier squad, but he's also building himself the Panzer IV. So he has more units, but 2 of them are MG42s, and Chukonoku has a mortar on the field to counter those MG42s. Doctrine selected for Sayler, and that is the Spearhead Doctrine. Hasn't actually gotten anything from it, but, well, does have the option to pop smoke. While Sayler doesn't actually have the option to pop smoke, but he could eventually get himself, what is that, an elephant, I believe? Yeah, I think it's an elephant. So we'll see if that comes into play. Panzer IV for Chukonoku going over to the right-hand side, gonna try to force away that Grenadier squad for Sayler. Sayler instantly retreats, and Chukonoku is now backing up, trying to get as much damage as he can on the Grenadier squad as it retreats. It retreats in a awkward angle down to one man. If he would have chased it, he would have actually killed it, although there is an LMG Gren in between. Can he actually finish it off? It is a veteran C1. A lot of damage going down. Come on, finish it off. No, Grenadier makes that alive. Panzer Grenadiers in the area. Can they finish them off himself? No, MG42 is there for support, and the Panzer Grenadiers end up not being able to shoot. So, very lucky Grenadier squad there for Sayler. Makes it out alive. Sliver of health to one man. Does he actually have a triage? Or medic bunker? No, he does not. So Chukonoku, a little bit better there, has himself that medic station. So yeah. Anyways, Panzer IV for Sayler now on the field, so things a little bit more equal. Chukonoku, however, did invest in his tier 2 earlier, so he is going to be able to get himself a pack-on, which he's producing right now. So he'll be able to counter that Panzer IV a little bit easier. Grenadier squad over here at one man, sending a rifle nade at that Panzer Grenadier squad, taking one of the guys out. Does retreat and is relatively safe. Panzer IV coming up for a little bit of a flank on that MG42 and the Grenadiers. The Grenadiers do try to take out, shoot a Panzerfaust at that Panzer IV, but the Panzer IV is now retreating in a nice angle, going to come back to the defense of his LMG Grens, and the Panzer IV for Sayler is on the hunt, moving over here, but well, Panzer IV and Panzer IV fight, it's going to end up to who gets the penetrations, really, or who gets the better positioning. Panzer IV for Chukonoku is currently exposing his rear armor to Sayler's Panzer IV, so that means it will lose, but if it runs into those Grens can easily Faust it, giving the edge to Chukonoku. Grens for Sayler do end up getting battered, throwing a rifle nade on those V2 Grens, but they don't actually take any damage from it. And the Panzer IV does end up getting Fausted with a damaged engine and slightly damaged hull. Chukonoku, however, reluctant to use his Panzer IV to attack it, and decides to just move away and, well, as they say, live to fight another day. MG42 for Sayler pushing to the fuel point. Pioneers assaulting the MG42. They are going to run straight at it, but they're going to get caught in the arc of fire, although no, they actually managed to make it behind it, and will start doing some damage to it. They will get shot back at by the extra members of the MG42, but since they take 25% more damage, they will actually win the fight. Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward right on top of the MG42 will clear it out, and down goes another MG42 for Sayler. So 2 MG42s down on the field that Chukonoku could potentially take. There is another MG42 in the church that is currently getting bombarded by Chukonoku's mortar. And yeah, that's about it. Mortar half-track available for Chukonoku to get, but doesn't look like he's inclined to do so. And the pack gun is moving over to the southern fuel to try to boost the anti-tank capabilities for Chukonoku on that side. Panzer IV in the center, taking some shots at Grenadiers. Grenadiers with LMGs set up against Grenadiers with no LMGs. Interesting choice that Sayler has decided not to get LMGs on his Grens. Oh, very nasty shot there by the Panzer IV. Actually nails 3 of his own members, or, well, teammates, and ends up forcing that squad to retreat. Faust going off on the Panzer IV, damaging the engine, but the Panzer IV will retreat. The Panzer IV for Sayler is going a little bit aggressive, but it doesn't look like it's going to hunt Chukonoku's Panzer IV. And there is a pack on the field, which is somewhere around. Somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Oh, let's just click on it. Here it is. Wow, I'm blind. I actually looked directly at it and it wasn't there. Okay, well, anyways. Left-hand side, Grenadiers with LMGs moving against Grenadiers with no LMGs. All 3 Grenadiers currently on the field for Chukonoku have LMGs, and he's getting himself a Flak Panzer, so very nice. Flak Panzer is going to help out a lot against that sheer amount of infantry, but it needs to be careful against the Panzer IV, and very interesting, Sayler also getting himself a Flak Panzer, so, I mean, how much mirror can you get? I mean, I guess really the difference here is that one went tier 2 and the other didn't. But, I mean, they're pretty much dead on the number of units. I mean, there's 2 MG42s, well, no MG42s for Chukonoku. But Chukonoku has a mortar and Panzer Grenadiers, while Sayler only has Grenadiers. So, interesting. And a mortar now getting produced for Sayler, so never mind. He's actually going to match him on that. Interesting. So, very, very interesting.
We have taken Grenadier squad at full strength.
Center map, Grens pushing forward, getting shot by the MG42 in the church, actually getting pinned down because there's 2 MG42s opening up on them. Mortar taking some shots as it can, but Panzer IV moves in, takes a shot at the Grens and forces them off. Panzer IV moving over to the right-hand side, we have Pios against Grens. The Grens move out. Mortar taking some shots at the Grens apparently, but managing to almost hit the Grens. Nice rifle laid down by the Grenadiers, actually nails those Pios, forcing them to retreat, but the mortar continues to shoot, nailing the Grens down to 2 men. Very nice shot there. Always remember the German mortar shoots very fast compared to Soviet mortar, so you're going to get more shots every time. Grenadiers down to 1 man. The Panzer IV right on top of it will be able to execute it completely. It does retreat. Can he make it out alive? Panzer IV takes a shot, misses, shooting with his machine gun on top, and executes a Grenadier squad. So a pickup there for Chukonoku, down to 3 Grenadiers, matching Grenadier per Grenadier now. And his Grenadiers have LMGs, so he should be in an excellent shape in that situation. Panzer Grens being used to cap, just moving around the left-hand side of the map. There's a Grand Squad over there, just holding position, and we now see a recon overflight being used by Chukonoku. So here comes the plane, somewhere around there. Here it is. Sorry, can't actually see it. There it is. Oh, very nice shot. Well, crashes on the outside of the map, unfortunate, so no kills by the plane. But, well, with the Flak Panzer on the field for Sayler, that reconnaissance overflight didn't really last long, and it got shut down pretty fast. Left-hand side, Panzer IV attacking Panzer Grenadiers and Grens. The Grens do throw a Faust on the Panzer IV, getting a crit on the engine. And the 2-man Grenadier squad is coming up for support, but with the Panzer IV, they're just taking some shots as it can. Well, those Grens will actually win that fight. Center map, Flak Panzer is set up to, you know, well, help out. But with the Panzer IV here for Chukonoku actually in a flanking angle, the Flak Panzer over here defending the victory point. It's a very interesting move. The pack for Chukonoku is moving into the center. We'll see if that comes into play. Pack actually hasn't done anything, hasn't even taken or done any damage so far. MG42 turned around to phase the Grenadiers on this side of the map. Panzer IV pushing forward, going straight for the Flak Panzer, it looks like. Flak Panzer going to be the focus of the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV on the other side of the map for Sayler. The Flak Panzer also going into the center? No, it decides not to. Church finally collapsing, killing another MG42 for Sayler. And the Grens continue to Faust the Panzer IV, doing some decent damage, bringing it down to less than half health. But now the Flak Panzer IV Chukonoku moves into the center of the map. It's going to start doing some very good damage. Sayler, for his part, got himself a Stug. Stug will help out and bolster that anti-tank capability. It is essentially the same as the pack, just a little bit more mobile for Sayler. Panzer IV backing up. The Panzer IV for Sayler moving into the center of the map. Going to take a shot at the Flak Panzer. The Flak Panzer will take some damage, I believe. No, it actually dodges the shot. Pack gun sets up. It's going to start shooting at the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV taking a nasty frontal shot, down to about half health. Panzer IV for Chukonoku taking some shots at Sayler's Panzer IV. Panzer IVs are very low in health. The pack gun gets decrewed right as it shoots its last shot and takes out the Panzer IV for Chukonoku. Stug is, however, on the field, but it didn't get sent into the fight. That would have been the crux to this fight. Panzer IV does get taken out eventually, however, to a Faust by the Grents. And now we have Flak Panzer on Flak Panzer action. This Flak Panzer is toast. It is very low in health and should be able to be finished off. Chukonoku needs to push on forward, finish off that Flak Panzer. Don't let it get out of there alive, otherwise he loses his advantage. And it looks like he's going to lose his advantage. That is quite unfortunate. Flak Panzer taking some extra shots at the Grenadiers, but the Flak Panzer for Sayler makes it out alive and is still on the field. A little bit of a missed opportunity there for Chukonoku. He still has a pack gun that could get recruited, although it's very, very low in health. As a weapon, needs to get repaired, otherwise whoever recruits it will pretty much instantly die at the first shot that comes its way. Stug now on the field, so Sayler has himself a little advantage there as far as armor goes. But Chukonoku is not far behind. He's producing himself a Panzer IV, which will beat out Stug any day. Flak Panzer holding position near the AT gun. The Flak Panzer backs off, trying to get himself not Fausted. Mortar taking some shots from the other side of the hedge. The Grens push forward, gonna get in range to Faust that Flak Panzer, and they do. And the Stug is now moving in for the kill, taking a nice shot on that Flak Panzer. The Flak Panzer still there, not moving out of the way. Takes a second shot down to about 40% health. Pops some smoke, gets rid or breaks the line of sight. Sayler actually decided to capture the Flak gun itself. I mean, the pack gun itself gets those two units killed off pretty quickly. And Vet 3 Grenadier Squad in the center gets forced off of the field by the mortar. Vet 2 Grenadier Squad for Chukonoku almost gets cleared out by the Flak Panzer and the Stug. And the other second squad down to one man also retreats. Panzer IV now on the field for Chukonoku. Is he going to go for the kill? He has the option. I mean, he doesn't have any pack to worry about. And the Stug is a scrub compared to the Panzer IV. Can very easily get outflanked. But Chukonoku obviously doesn't know the positioning right now, and apparently he's not going to go for it. Pioneers working overtime to repair that Flak Panzer, and the Stug looks like it actually noticed the Panzer IV and decides to back off. Takes a shot at the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV decides to back off. It says, okay, I'm in a bad position. I don't want to go too deep into enemy territory and get Fausted and killed off by the Stug. Panzer IV in a little bit of trouble, getting charged by Grenadiers and shot at by the Stug. The Stug nailing it with some very good shots, bring it down to about 25 to 30% health. So the Pios are going to have to work again into repairing it. Mortar still taking some shots at all the infantry that it can. The pack gun did get recruited by Sayler, but a nice shot by the mortar could actually take it out completely, considering the health on the weapon. So we'll see if that actually happens. Flak Panzer not fully repaired, just moving up front to start putting some defensive positions essentially. And it actually looks like it's going, no, it looks like it might have been gone hunting for the mortar, but it doesn't. Okay. Grenadiers in the center managing to decap the point for Chukonoku. And victory point wise, 251 for Chukonoku and 404 for Sayler. So still winning Sayler in the victory point front. And he's doing okay in the forces wise, getting himself another Panzer IV, so he's going to have a very nice combined arms there as far as tanks goes. I mean, one of each. Chukonoku, for his part, still has his Panzer IV, now almost fully repaired at about 90% health. Pyo's chasing it to finish off the repairs. And now we see Chukonoku shifting positions and going over to the left-hand side of the map. Ray needing oxygen and using 2 squads to capture the same point. A little bit of a waste there, but Black Panther is moving over to the left-hand side. Should be able to deal with these grants if they don't retreat quickly. And, well, has units for support. So, yeah, very nice for Chukonoku to actually shift the angle of attack and the approach, because right here is essentially ramming, you know, the sledgehammer approach is ramming and see if you can wear him down and break through. But, you know, he knows that it's a tough position, so might as well make him have to shift his units, get into a different area, and potentially take him out in a bad spot. Black Panther catching these grants out in a bad spot, down to 1 man on the retreat, but it looks like that grant will be able to make it out alive. Chukonoku will not continue to pursue, not wanting to risk getting his Flag Panzer caught. 2 out of position. Panzer IV now on the field for Sayler. Another Grenadier squad getting produced to start replacing his losses. Pioneer trying to capture the fuel, getting shot by the Flag Panzer, forced to retreat. Flag Panzer still getting repaired. And the mortar back on the field. After taking a beating, they didn't even reinforce their missing member. And the mortar taking some shots, looks like, at the Flag Panzer location. Yeah. Left-hand side, we see the Panzer IV pushing. The Flag Panzer is all the way up to the north, so it's relatively safe. And Grenadiers are trying to finish capturing that munitions point. The Panzer IV will get right on top of them to be annoying. And it's followed up by a VICTRIX Grand Squad with LMG now. So that VICTRIX LMG Grand Squad will, well, pretty much lose that fight. But they will be able to decap that point before the Grants get into the zone. There they go. But with the Grants following up, they will have a tough fight. There is a Panzer Grenadier squad nearby to help out. Rifle Nate going down on top of Chukonoku's squad. Only does a little bit of splash damage, doesn't even kill anybody. Panzer Shreks getting equipped on the Panzer Grenadiers should be able to combat that Panzer IV quite effectively. We'll see how good they are at it. Grenadiers down to 2 men, getting shot by the Panzer Grenadiers right on top of them. Panzer Shreks going off on the Panzer IV. 1 Panzer Shrek gets dropped. This Grenadier could actually pick it up if it's not careful. And the Panzer Grenadier gets executed for Chukonoku, who picked it up. It looks like Chukonoku's Grenadier ended up picking up the Faust. So they have a Faust and an LMG, down to 1 man on the retreat, veteran C2. So it's going to make it out alive, but barely. Center map, we see some stuff going down. Grants capturing point, pack set up. Panzer IV taking some shots. And we have a second Panzer IV being produced for Chukonoku. Very nice. So the plane ends up crashing this time over here on the southern portion, but again, that reconnaissance overflight not paying off for Chukonoku, at least because it's not being able to linger around there because there is a Flag Panzer, so you probably should not try to use it that often until you can get rid of the Flag Panzer, but well, regardless. So second Panzer IV on the field for Chukonoku. This should give him the edge armor-wise. He also has the only pack gun on the field. The pack gun did get taken out by the mortar like I suspected because it was so low in health. So very nice break there for Sayler. And Grenadiers in the center getting pushed away by the Flag Panzer. So if we get the Flag Panzer and both Panzer IVs into the center of the map, they could win this fight quite easily. The Panzer IV for Sayler is currently out of position up north. And here we go. We see the Panzer IV heading straight into the center, running into the Stug, taking a shot to the face. Second Panzer IV coming up for support. And Chukonoku gets emboldened, decides, you know what, I'm going to go for it. Let's get rid of these tanks. This Flag Panzer is not going to do any damage to my Panzer IVs. Panzer IVs will take on the Stug, like I said, on a one-on-one very easily. Could even circle strafe it if you wanted to avoid damage. And the Flag Panzer is now in a very tough spot. It's taking some shots, being able to dodge them and being quite adept at it. Panzer IV is backing up, Grenadiers pushing forward, trying to get in range for a Faust. And we have the Panzer IV for Sayler moving into the zone to support. It is damaged, however, down to about 75% health. Grenadiers do move up to be able to Faust this Panzer IV, but they decide to continue moving. Pack gun already on the field. They're going to move in to throw a rifle nade at it. They do throw the nade. Going to get that pack gun cleared. And the Panzer IV for Sayler, is in the area. Trying to help out, but the Grens are getting battered. They are veteran C3, so they are very capable of taking a lot of damage. And they do. They don't manage to throw off the Faust. And the Panzer IVs manage to push him away. Second Panzer IV on the field for Sayler, so this is a 2-on-2 fight. Oh, very nice shot there. Actually nails that Panzer IV completely. The Panzer IVs are now, oh, very nice fragmentation bomb right on top of all the infantry for Sayler, doing a lot of damage, actually stunning the crew on that Panzer IV. The Panzer IV getting repaired on the fly on the field, getting shot by both Black Panther and Panzer IV. Should be able to clear out this other Panzer IV by themselves. No, actually, this Panzer IV manages to get itself out of the sight range, and the Black Panther is moving in to try to get the kill, but can it? It doesn't look like it can. It is shooting at the other Black Panther, so a little bit of a Black Panther on Black Panther action, but the Panzer IVs for Chukonoku survive, so he actually gets the better side of that engagement. Did a lot of damage with that fragmentation bomb. You can see the corpses all lying all over the place there. So Sayler is now down to a Panzer IV and a Flak Panzer and 3 Grenadiers, Pios, and a Mortar. Mortar now veteran C2, doing a lot of damage and a lot of kills. German Mortar for Chukonoku, also now to 18 kills in veteran C2, so very nice. Panzer IV backing off, gonna get repairs by the Pios, and the Flak Panzer also needs heavy repairs. Hell, even a third Pio in this situation wouldn't be so bad considering the amount of armor you have, but it's not really that needed. So, Sayler backing off, leaking his wounds, gonna start the repairs. Sayler also has 2 Pios, but the other Pio looks to be up north, so it's not gonna be used for repair, so it's gonna take a little bit longer for him to do that. And this means that Chukonoku might have a very nice window here where he can send both his Panzer IVs into the map and, you know, get some nice kills. Grens for Chukonoku pushing forward. Victory point wise, he has managed to stabilize at 235 and is starting to drain on Sayler, but Sayler is still sitting at 345, so he is in a very favorable position. Let's see, Chukonoku has an MG42. I'm not sure if he picked up an MG42 or he built his own. I can actually double check that because I wasn't noticing that. And let's see, he built one there, and he does build one at the 29-minute mark. So yeah, he actually built an MG42 of his own. Panzer IV heading down south, gonna get in between Grenadiers, gonna get Fausted because of that. Faust goes off, gets a crit on the engine, so that Panzer IV will have to back off once again and get its engine repaired. Panzer IV for Sayler still getting repaired now at about 75% health, so still window of time there where these Panzer IVs could be very effective. Two Pioneers using for repair are going to do the job very quickly. And the Pios for Sayler are okay, they're repairing the Flak Panther. Okay. Multiple repairs, but just separate repairs essentially. Grenadiers pushing forward against Grenadiers. More Gren on Gren action. And the LMG is going off all over the place. Veteran C3 one ended up retreating. Veteran C2 one taking a nade to the face, doing a nice nade on the Veteran C3 one, eliminating the Veteran C3 Grenadier squad for Sayler. So all he has left is a Vet 1 Grenadier and a Vanilla Gren, putting Chukonoku in a superb advantage. He has 2 Vet 2 and 1 Vet 3 Grenadier squad, which will beat out Sayler's Gren squads any day of the week. More Faust going off by the Grens for Sayler. Both Panzer IVs again with damaged engines. They need to get those repairs going once again to putting him in top shape. Panzer IVs again, 2 Panzer IVs for Sayler on the field. There is a pack on, however, on the field for Chukonoku that will do the additional damage that will spell the difference. But basically, it's a 2P4 on 2P4 and the Flak Panzer. The fight, like I said, this really all comes down to what units you use to support, what abilities, and what micro you have. I mean, simple example would be if Sayler just sends in 1 Panzer IV at a time to fight all this, well, obviously he's going to lose. So, like I said, it all depends on control here. Chukonoku, however, having the upper hand in this situation because of his map position and victory point situation. He is starting to bleed those points on Sayler. Sayler down to 280 while he's still at 235. So it's a 50-point difference that's going to be closing very fast at a triple cap. So it's going to take a while. And Sayler calls himself in a Tiger. That is going to be the ace in the pocket or whatever you call it. Ace in the hole. I don't know. So yeah, that's going to actually make the whole lot of difference. Sayler, however, is capable of calling himself an elephant, but he doesn't have the resources for it. So his doctrine would have given him an elephant, but he cannot afford one right now. So maybe he should have saved up and waited for the elephant, but well, sometimes you want to have something on the field. And there we go, very nice, actually catching that Panzer IV way out of position. Takes a shot to the side armor. 2 shots from the pack gun, bringing it down to about 25% health. That Panzer IV is out of commission and having to leave the field. And the Panzer IV for Chukonoku actually gets veterancy 2 now, increasing its armor, reducing the damage that it takes, and that is now a boss tank. The Tiger also hitting the field, coming over here to the right-hand side. So we see the Vet 2 Panzer IV heading straight into the center, taking shots from both Panzer IVs at the same time. The other Panzer IV is sitting back for Chukonoku, not exactly sure why he's doing that. Vet 2 Panzer IV tanking stuff like a boss. Flak Panzer taking shots at the AT gun, will be able to clear it out. With veterancy 2, the Flak Panzer just as well gets reduced damage taken, although it doesn't get sexy skirts, but you know, it is what happens. And now with the second Panzer IV moving in to support, the Vet 2 Panzer IV and a Tiger moving up behind it, these Panzer IVs are in a very difficult situation. There we go, Panzer IV taking some shots, Tiger taking shots at the Panzer IV. Panzer IV down to about 50% health. Slayer's Panzer IV actually got veterancy 2, very nice. And the Black Panther gets taken out up north. This Panzer IV down here will die, but the Tiger should be able to do quick work of both of these Panzer IVs. There's also the other Panzer IV a little bit up north with veterancy 2, but apparently Chukonoku wants to keep it alive and will just simply back off. Panzer IVs continue to push forward. One of them goes down to the shot from the Tiger, and the veterancy 2 one stays on the field, taking some shots. Nasty shot there by the Panzer IV, actually nails it, but with its side skirts and veterancy manages to stay alive and backs off. The Flak Panzer is actually going in for the kill. Can he finish it off? It is a very risky maneuver, but a very possible one. The Tiger is now moving up, taking shots at the mortar, forcing everything off of the field for Sayler. Sayler very low in units, building another Panzer IV to replace his lost troops. But the Panzer IV Vet 2 is down to a sliver of health. We could even say 5%. But Chukonoku decides not to go for the kill, and it's just simply going to back off, reinforce, recover, get everything back up to snuff. Veterancy 2 Panzer IV getting repaired. Pioneers coming into the field, so slow and steady wins the race, right? So that's what he's doing. He says, okay, I don't really need to go balls deep. I just need to consolidate what I have and push my advantage. So 235 points still for Chukonoku, no bleed, and he has gotten Slayer now to add the actual losing side of the victory points down to 223. Still anybody's game at this point, victory point wise. However, Chukonoku is sitting at a very comfortable, very dominant position. With his units, he has 3 Grand Squads on the field still, 2 of them being veterancy 3, 1 of them veterancy 2, with an MG42 there for support, while Sayler only has 2 Grenadier Squads with no veterancy, but he does have a mortar with veterancy 2 that is able to support. Still, you know, difficult situation, but, you know, could potentially be worked. And tank-wise, well, Chukonoku has 2 Panzer IVs, but, I mean, Sayler has 2 Panzer IVs, but Chukonoku has a Panzer IV and a Tiger, plus a Flak Panzer, so. Now we see the Vet 2 Panzer IV over here on the left-hand side, harassing Grenadiers. Grenadiers did actually capture the point. There's really no need for those Grenadiers to actually stay on the field, but they decide to do so. Vet 3 Grenadiers with LMG moving up. They're going to start... Oh, well, never mind. The Panzer IV actually eliminates them. Panzer IV's in the center, going up against the Flak Panzer. The veterancy 2 Panzer IV got repaired to about 60% health. And it's going against the Flak Panzer and the Tiger. The Tiger pretty much shrugging off any shots. Panzer IV here with no veterancy, going straight at the Tiger, getting shot in return, down to about 20% health. Will go down. The Tiger continues to move, takes out that Panzer IV, and the veterancy 2 Panzer IV for Sayler is the only thing he has left on the field with armor. And considering that there are Panzer Shreks on the field because of this veterancy 3 squad, that Panzer IV will lose. can't really circle straight the Tiger that effectively because the Tiger has a turret. And ooh, very nasty shot there by the mortar, I think. Ended up killing a Pioneer squad. And the Panzer IV gets caught by the other Panzer IV. So that is it. Sayler loses all he has 1 Grand and 1 mortar on the field. Better C3 mortar, however, so very buff mortar there, but that's it. That's all she wrote. He's not coming out of this one. And yeah, he knows it and he leaves. So very nice. Excellent game by both players. Excellent to see this mirror match. One of the most exciting mirror matches I've actually casted. The other ones were a little bit lopsided. So here was very nice. Sayler having a dominant position at the early game, and then Chukonoku consolidating, bringing back and turning it around, and getting himself a very nice victory there in the center of the map. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.